And I'm like 10 minutes in, it's going fine. And I used to have this joke about Amber Alerts or something, some dumb, edgy, hacky joke that every comedian has his first 2 years in.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that the day before a little girl had been kidnapped in the town. And that morning, they found her body that morning. And everyone said it was because they didn't put out an Amber Alert. They were like, if we put out an Amber Alert, we could have saved this girl. So here I am
doing
6 hours later. Yeah. It sounded like I literally heard about that and decided to do I had no idea.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cell 14 podcast. Today, I got a very special guest with me, Michael Longfellow, and he's a stand-up comedian. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I know right now it's strange times for all of us. How are you dealing with staying at home?
Oh, very strange times. Strange times indeed. I think that I'm pretty good now. I feel like I had an initial freak out the first couple weeks, and now I've super settled into it. I feel like I've noticed that I haven't been thinking of the next like show or the next moment of judgment almost for the first time since maybe I started doing comedy, which is like 8 years ago or something. Like I was playing video games and actually enjoying playing them. Like I wasn't hating myself thinking, oh, I should be doing something else right now.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt that for a long time.
I saw your like latest video, like that you're saying like Halo this and Halo.
Dumb, whatever the hell that is, dude. Yeah, that's definitely a product of just being stuck inside and not being able to do stand up. There's stuff like that gets made.
Yeah, like you said, you haven't taken a break in so long. So how does that feel? Like I know it's different, but what are you trying to do to stay occupied and stuff?
Yeah, I haven't taken a break in so long. It's so weird. I always, even when I'm doing stand up all the time, I still feel like I'm never working hard enough or doing enough. Because I'm, feel like when I'm not doing stand up, I should be like writing a movie or something like that. But now I realize like how hard I was working, like doing stand up every single night is tough. It does take a toll. I didn't know I needed a break until I like was in the middle of the break and realized how stressed I actually was. So I've been kind of using the time. I haven't tried to write stand up. I kind of have been using it as this time to like tap out and disconnect a little bit.
Yeah, just take a break.
It's going to be the last break like this that we're ever going to get. Hopefully. I hope there's another break like this. But yeah, definitely. It's a strange time where no one else is doing it. So you don't feel the guilt or the pressure to do it. So I think definitely take advantage of that. I'm trying to at least.
Yeah, I've listened to some other comedians, like their podcasts, and they've been saying that they haven't written anything and they've just taken the time to just be themselves and just be at home, relax. Because you travel a lot too while you're on tour or like while you're doing comedy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just travel all the time. But since it's the only thing you do, like the only way I make a living and everything is I just do stand up. I travel around, I do stand up. So when it's the only thing you do, you feel like it's not that, like you're not working that hard at it because you do it every night, but it's the only thing you do, But dude, the travel and the constant just like thinking about what the next show is going to be, the last show that you did. Maybe it was good, maybe it was bad, whatever joke you're thinking about. It's so nice to not take a walk, just to take a walk, not like take a walk to think of an idea. I'm literally just taking a walk because I want to walk around. Yeah, and I think I think that's even going to make, you a better comedian, honestly, because I think if you're happy, you're much more creative.
Yeah, but now when I think about it, like the next time comedians are able to go on stage, they're pretty much going to talk about the coronavirus. Like at least for
Probably.
a few months. Yeah.
Yeah, probably a little bit. There definitely will be that. I think it'll be pretty hacked pretty fast. I don't know how many original takes you can have on the coronavirus, but yeah, there'll be that for a little bit. That happens.
Yeah.
When stuff happens.
When do you think people will start going to comedy shows and stuff will open up again?
I don't know. I know that there are a couple places that are like opening up this week in like Texas and stuff.
Yeah,
and they're not like, yeah,
they haven't like I live in Southern California, so over here it's pretty
same.
tight. Yeah,
same. I'm in LA, and it's definitely super tight.
Yeah, and when I look at Florida and Texas, and they have their gyms open, people are eating in restaurants, it's just different.
I'm from Arizona, and my family still lives there, and they'll send me like things of what it's like, and it's a different world. There's people just at bars, no masks or anything. I think that July will be when clubs try to start opening up again, at least in California. I think a lot of clubs in the country are going to open up in June, maybe like 25% capacity and all these kind of restrictions.
Yeah.
But I think California won't be until July, maybe even later. I mean, out here, who knows?
Yeah, because in LA County, the mayor's saying until July, he's going to have the stay-at-home order in place.
Yeah. So, and I hear this a lot from comedians. They're like, the laughter is it's an essential business. I think that I don't really. I think that's pretty corny. Actually, I think there's don't risk your life but I guess if I will say if the club's taking precautions and they're doing things and people feel safe to go, definitely go. It's your right to go.
Yeah.
And and there are places that they can't make it another month or two being shut down. They need to pay bills. So definitely go support places that are opening up and taking it seriously. But like a full club, I don't know when we'll see that again. I bet not until 2021 will we see just like a normal comedy show.
And because in most comedy shows, there are tons of people in the audience and you're sitting pretty close together.
You're laughing. Yeah. You're literally blowing death and destruction into the air. If it's a good show, the funnier the comedian, the more dangerous it's going to be.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard that argument that like laughter is a very breathy activity.
And even restaurants, like they had to make some restrictions too, and they're losing a lot of money. And restaurants is a hard business to be in it of itself.
Yeah, definitely. I feel bad for a lot of places. I think this is the month where places are really going to start shutting down.
Yeah. If the same restrictions are in place, I don't think most businesses will be able to survive through that.
Yeah, I agree. Which is a shame.
It should be like easier for businesses to stay in business, but it's just not how it is. Yeah. So like you said, you started comedy 8 years ago. How was the first time being on stage like?
I had a good experience. I've heard a lot of people having bad ones. Mine was really good. It was at I told my mom I wanted to do stand-up when I was like 16 or something, and she signed me up for a comedy class without my permission. And it was me. Good? It was me and like 10 other 60-year-old people that just wanted to do it like once, It's like a bucket list item. But it ended up being really great because for 6 weeks, you go to this place and every Tuesday you go for an hour and you like write and talk about comedy. And then after 6 weeks, they do a show. And so by the time we did the show, I was kind of, I hadn't done a show yet, but I at least been like talking about comedy for a while.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be very lovely. The crowd was wonderful. I remember they were all one dude's family. like the only
Just
people that it was like 60 people, but they were all this one performer's family. So they were the sweetest, nicest people ever. Like everyone on the show did well. I probably suck ass, but they never would have told me that. They were super sweet. Yeah. So I had a good time my first day. After that, it started to get, I got into the real world of like open mics and bars and all that stuff. And then there was definitely some stuff to be ironed out, but the first show was good.
Yeah. Like most comedians, they bomb, like you said, like on the first time they're doing comedy, but since you had a supportive audience, it helped out.
Yeah. A supportive audience
increased your confidence a bit. You were probably nervous.
I was probably cocky as hell after that. I was probably like, I'm ready for the Tonight Show after like one show. Yeah, it was good.
What's like the worst time you've bombed been like?
The worst time I've bombed, and it wasn't even really my fault. This is the worst experience I've had on stage. I was in Santa Cruz 2 years into comedy. I met this guy that was like, hey, I have a van. Let's me, you, and a couple other comedians go from Phoenix all the way to Vancouver and back, and we'll do comedy shows the whole time for like a month. And he told me he had all these shows scheduled, and I was like 19, so I was like, yeah, dude, that sounds amazing. And we did this 2 days into the trip. Everyone hated each other, and we all realized what a mistake we'd made. And none of us were even good at comedy. And this guy had like lied his way into like serious shows, like actual paying shows.
Yeah.
That were like giving us a lot of money to do like an hour and a half of comedy combined. None of us had more than 10 minutes. So it just felt, every time we were in a venue, I felt like we didn't deserve to be there and we're uninvited. It was terrible. And we were at this one place and I'm hosting the show. So I go up first, I do like 10 minutes of comedy, and then I bring the other comedians up, and between each comic, I'll go up and bring the next person up. And I'm like 10 minutes in, it's going fine. And I used to have this joke about Amber Alerts or something, some dumb, edgy, hacky joke that every comedian has his first 2 years in.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that the day before a little girl had been kidnapped in the town. And that morning, they found her body that morning. And everyone said, it was because they didn't put out an Amber Alert. They were like, if we put out an Amber Alert, we could have saved this girl. So here I am
doing
6 hours later. Yeah. It sounded like I literally heard about that and decided to do I had no idea. This is just a normal joke I usually did. And dude, when I said it, it was like, I haven't had anything feel like this since. It was just the crowd. You could feel everyone hated me. I felt hate towards me. And a guy stood up. I remember he was like a biker guy and had tattoos on his face. And he told me to get off the stage and called me a loser. Like, he didn't call me a bad word or anything. He called me a loser, which hurts so much more than if he would have cursed me out or something. Like, he had to hold back to be like, you're a loser. Get off stage. And then I had to keep going on stage to introduce the comedians for the rest of the hour. It was the worst. It was absolutely terrible. Half the crowd afterwards was like, damn, you really stepped in it there. Nothing you can do. And then the other crowd, they wanted to like hurt me. They wanted to bring me actual pain. We had to leave the venue very quickly.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, I did not have the facilities to handle it. I did not have the chops to deal with it, you know? I was like,
just
terrified.
One guy getting up. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I didn't know how to respond to that yet. I hadn't dealt with a heckler before. Yeah, it was horrible. That's my worst for sure.
And one of like, I follow you on TikTok. That's how I got to know your comedy. I haven't been to any of your shows, but I'll probably go.
Especially if you're in SoCal.
Yeah, once this opens up. But I liked your bit on the Alexa name.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. Then you called that girl, like, what's your name?
Yeah, that was special. That was just a little piece of comedy magic that happened and was good. Yeah. God bless Mariana, wherever she may be. Yeah, TikTok's been nice, man. I just started posting on there a few weeks ago, and it's been really nice to me so far.
Yeah, a lot of comedians have been posting like their bits on there, and it's been blowing up. And it's so easy. It's easier for more people to see it than any other social media platform.
That's what I've noticed. I've posted some of the videos I've posted on TikTok and they've done fine, but there's a few of them on TikTok that have just like way more than I thought they'd ever get.
But TikTok is a mix of weird shit too. Like
dude, it's the most fascinating app in the world right now. Like, it is. Half of it is so horrible and just a cringe factory. And then there's a great part of it where I see some of the most brilliant small sketches I've ever seen. And it's a great place for, stand-up clips, oddly enough. And then I'll see like a racist high school humor, like 10 of those in a row. It's such a fascinating world. I'm really enjoying TikTok.
Yeah,
I never thought that's where I would pop, but I'll take it.
You never know.
It. Yeah.
And you see those dances and everything that people are doing.
Man, God bless them. I throw no judgment or shade anyway, but I still like every time I see a dance, I still have to watch it like that,
And every girl tries to just do the same shit, like,
and it works.
Yeah,
that's the other frustrating is it works. You can see a video with like 400 million views, and you can literally just know why,
Yeah, and they're like young kids on there too, like 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
For some how are these kids having phones? I didn't have a phone till I was like 15.
Yeah, I didn't have a phone at least until I was like 14 or 15. And when I did, it didn't have all that shit that you could have on it. It was like a phone. I'd like text 2 girls on it, and that would be everything. Yeah,
it's just weird.
It is strange times. These kids, they're growing up in a crazy world.
Yeah. Did you hear about the George Floyd thing that happened?
Of course, man.
Yeah, that was
tragedy. You have to be under a rock not to hear about that. Yeah, it was horrible. And it came, what was the thing right before it too? It was like 2 things happened that were huge. There was something terrible that happened right before the George, like another police brutality thing or something.
I'm not sure, but
I can't remember. Yeah. That's how crazy it is. It was like, it happens so often. I can't even remember the one right before it.
Yeah. There's just so many. And there was like one in LA I saw on Twitter too. There's this cop just like beating up this guy, and he was handcuffed, but I don't know, it's just sad to see. Yeah,
it's terrible. It's bad. And now like Minneapolis is on fire or something.
Yeah. Did you see the video of that handicapped person trying to stab people getting out of Target?
No.
Dude, this shit's so funny. I think I could share it to you here. I'll share the screen.
Yeah.
This lady right here. Can you see that?
I can see it.
Yeah, like
she's trying to stab people coming out of her. Oh my god.
She has like a knife, and then she gets like.
Oh my god! And it just says she's stabbing people. See, dude, that seems like. This doesn't even seem like it. It seems like an SNL sketch,
Yeah.
She's stabbing people. It's terrible. That's so funny.
I know. She was trying to stab like people coming out, and then that one guy, he got a fire extinguisher from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And people were saying, like, see that white girl that just walked by?
Yeah.
Like right here. She was saying, people were saying, why didn't she do anything to her?
Oh, you know why.
Yeah.
You know exactly why. Dude, I think fire extinguishing someone is one of the funniest things you can do.
I know, bro. And that Target,
funny.
That Target got like fucking trashed, bro.
Yeah, it did. That's the famous one that's like trending right now with all the videos inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be all right. Target's gonna be okay.
They looted everything though, but they'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think across the street though, there was a AutoZone, and that's where like the fire started and shit got out of control.
The AutoZone?
Yeah, there was an AutoZone, and somebody like lit it on fire.
Damn.
Yeah. And the whole, like, that whole building got just crumbled.
Yeah, people are mad.
Mm-hmm.
Rightly so. Pretty nuts.
Yeah, there are people, it's because it happens so much.
Oh, that's what happened before that. It was the girl in the park in New York that called the police on the guy. Yeah, that was like right before. That's already been like, that's already done now because of this.
I heard she got fired too from her job for saying
her
that
life's
shit.
fucking over. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was not a good look for her.
Mm-hmm. That was bad. But yeah, since all this shit's been happening back to back to back, and even with the virus situation, people are coming together and protesting because this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's tremendous fodder for a comedy podcast, though. We're getting really deep. We're getting really into it.
Yeah, that's getting.
These are some big issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's not good.
Yeah, but I've been trying to not to watch the news so much because all they do is just talk about like negative shit on there. So I've been watching a lot of Netflix. Have you been watching any comedy specials like on Netflix and stuff?
I don't usually ever watch comedy specials normally. I do like a lot of comedy things on Netflix, but it's hard to watch stand up. It's like Dave Chappelle said in his special, it's like watching someone else fuck a girl.
Yeah.
And you're like, I could do it. I could do it better than that or something. It really is like that. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But I would say if you are going to watch some comedy, I rewatched I Think You Should Leave on Netflix, which is, I think, one of the best shows to come out in the last decade. I've been watching a lot of not comedy stuff, watching a lot of Western movies. I don't know why.
Western movies?
I watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood. I guess that's the first movie to ever use that Western song where it's like dun 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 dun. So that was like that's where it's from. So I watched that. I watched Django Unchained.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That's a great movie. I don't know. Yeah,
Jamie Foxx on that.
Dude, Jamie Foxx is the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah,
one of the greatest entertainers of all time.
Acts, sings, does comedy,
and does it all well, dude.
Yeah,
like there's no area where he's weak. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything I watched comedy related recently. Yeah,
I was watching like Dave Chappelle's Killing Him Softly special.
Great special,
Yeah. Every few months I just watch it because it's fucking hilarious.
I think that's the last special I watched in full.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube twice. So
yeah,
it's on YouTube.
I think YouTube's going to be I think that's going to be how it is. Like, I feel like it's most in the next 5 to 10 years, all specials are going to be on the internet or just people's websites.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
If it's easier for people to see too, if it's just
easier
free
for people to
there.
see. Overproduced special can be really weird. Like they can be awkward and kind of strange to no fault of the comedian. Like it's just a company kind of getting in the way and making it too disconnected, you know? I don't know. I think really all you need for a special is 2 cameras and a tight room.
Yeah.
And overthinking it past that is, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but.
Yeah. Like Kevin Hart, he did his special, that one special that was in like a football stadium.
Yeah.
That was a bit too much. Like
honestly, dude, Kevin Hart's he's on such a different level. He can do whatever he wants. If I could do a special and sell out a football stadium, I'd probably fuck around and see if I could. Whatever. He already has like 6 specials in the bank. I'd start getting risky with it. Yeah.
A football stadium, bro.
I'm not a Kevin Hart hater at all. I like that guy. I think he's like, it's insane how successful he is. Good for him.
Yeah, he's just motivated though. Like,
dude, he's so motivated. These
I
guys
follow
that
him
wake up early.
on Instagram, and every morning he's like hitting the gym. Like he has his gym in his backyard.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
just on there every day.
That's what I need to figure out, is how to get up early. Because that's what every successful billionaire person you see on YouTube, they always get up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And they've already got half their day done by 8, you know, and they're always saying that. They're always like, I'm already done with stuff, you jackass. You haven't even gotten up yet. And dude, if I wake up before 10, if I wake up in the triple digits, amazing. I'm so proud of myself, but it's so difficult. I wake up at 10:30 and I go to bed at 3 o'clock. That's my vibe. That's been my schedule for years. It sucks sometimes because I'll have like, you know, I'll get jobs and stuff and I'll just have to wake up at 6 for a week and I never get used to it. I'm always just miserably tired the whole time. But I need to change that.
Getting up early is like, I don't get up early that much anymore because I'm just at home. But getting up early and doing shit, it's a good way to start the day.
It feels amazing, doesn't it? Like every time I do it, I'm like, I love the way the sun looks at this hour. Like it's such a cool, clean, crisp air. And then I won't do it for 3 months. But I love doing it.
And you feel better than everybody else. Like, oh shit, I did this shit today. And
and I know it feels good, and I still don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm like that with so much stuff. Like even I'll smoke weed and I'll like every night I'll get to a point where I'm like, man, I'm paranoid and I hate the way this feels. I wake up, I can't wait to do it again. It's so ridiculous. Like, I really don't want to do this. And every day I'm like, can't wait to get there again.
Yeah. It's like, I do that with like being on social media. I just keep on like, after I scroll through shit, like I exit the app and then get right back on expecting like new shit to come on right away.
Yeah, dude. Literally, like my eyes hurt and I'm frustrated and you just keep going at it.
Yeah, that's it's just weird shit.
Like rats in a cage.
I saw your thing that you did on NBC last year.
Bring the Funny.
How was that experience? Yeah.
It was great. I mean, I'm glad I did it. It helped my career a lot, I guess. The actual doing of it was very nerve-wracking, and like every time I moved on and around, there was half the feeling was, oh yay, I moved on, and then half of it was like, oh no, I have to do that again. It's gonna be it's just, you know, comedy on TV is already nerve-wracking enough, let alone if there's 3 huge celebrities that are going to judge your set to your face while you're on TV. I didn't even hear what they were saying when they were talking about my set. All I was thinking was like, how's my face look right now? Am I reacting appropriately? Do I look gracious? Do I have a booger in my nose?
In like a studio, right? Like a television set.
It's done at the Warner Brothers studio, the Universal lot and everything. Like, it was so cool to be there. And it's like the movies. Like you see Dr. Phil fucking rolling around in a Rolls Royce or something. You're just like, wow, this really is a fake magical land. Yeah. And it's just as wonderful as I imagined. But it's, it was like, it's nerve wracking for sure.
Yeah. Like doing comedy like on TV and with celebrities watching you. And it's just,
if you do comedy on TV, you're already being judged by America. And then there's judges on top of the judges. Luckily, the judges were really nice to me and probably made it better for me.
Yeah, but, Chrissy Teigen was one of the judges, right?
Yeah, Chrissy Teigen, Jeff Foxworthy, and Kenan Thompson. And they were all really cool to me. They all really didn't shit on me or anything. It was nice.
Yeah, I don't think they shit on anybody, really.
No, they didn't. They were pretty nice the whole time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Oh, dude,
for this episode. Thank you everybody for listening.
Yeah, man. Thanks everybody for listening. Sorry you weren't talking to me. But thank you for having me, dude.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming on, and it's been a pleasure. I hope to see you in person at a comedy show once all this shit opens up.
Yeah, dude. When this all wraps up, let's connect. Let's go to a show.
And yeah, I hope you're doing well, you know, staying busy. Try waking up early once at a time.
Yeah. I'll give it a go.
Yeah. All right.
Later, buddy.
Peace, everybody.